All right, hey, what's up, everybody? Mike Lindsley back with you for an ML Sports Take, brought to you by our great friends at Empower Federal Credit Union, Welch & Company Jewelers, and Liverpool Physical Therapy. I think the Pac-12 and the Big 10 shutting down college football in the fall is a horrific look for the rest of college football. It's a terrible look for college football, college sports. It signals terrible leadership by Larry Scott, the commissioner of the Pac-12, and by Kevin Warren of the Big 10. It doesn't matter what side of the pandemic you're on. It doesn't matter if you think it's the most serious thing ever, or if you think it's just a cold, if you think we should open schools or not, if you think we should have fans or not, if you're Republican, Democrat, left, right, up, it doesn't matter what side of all the stuff you're on. The bottom line is we don't have enough foolproof evidence that college athletes are on campus more unsafe than they are at home. I mean, these kids are doing anything that they want at home, right? We don't know if they're going out to local restaurants. We don't know if they're touching their buddies. We don't know if they're slapping high fives if they're playing golf. We don't know what any of these kids are doing while they're at home. Now, on campus, there could be some of that going on as well. But the reality is you've got major medical teams, and you have daily testing. And these programs like Clemson, Florida State, Alabama, LSU, Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State, all of these programs have the highest medical people, number one. Number two, they've got huge resources. And number three, all of these kids are going to be basically in a bubble format anyway. And most of these kids are going to be taking their educational classes online. So they're going to be going from dorm room to facility to field to dorm room to facility with curfew, with protocol, basically the same exact thing that's going on with the NHL and the NBA right now. It's just a bigger roster in terms of football. But you got a situation right now where I just cannot believe that the Pac-12 and the Big 10, two Power 5 conferences with all the money at stake, with all the games at stake, with the livelihood of these kids at stake, throwing away senior seasons, throwing away freshman campaigns early in their college tenure, throwing away livelihoods, and all of this stuff is happening. And for what? We have no proof. We have zero proof that kids are more unsafe on campus than they are right now at home. They'll be in a bubble situation. The NHL and the NBA bubbles, they've worked. There's been over 18,000 cases, tests, of COVID in both sports, and there's been this many positive cases. Folks, these athletes are not getting it in the bubble. They're going from the hotel to the arena, back to the hotel. There's protocol. There's curfews left and right. So I don't think Kevin Warren and Larry Scott thought this thing through. I think right when the MAC said no, we're not playing, they felt a lot of heat, and some of them not only wanted to be the first one to do it, but they were getting a lot of political pressure, and they were getting a lot of media pressure in terms of, oh boy, could you imagine playing football? I can't imagine playing football because there's going to be more kids who are going to die from alcohol, from food poisoning, from car accidents, from suicides, from all sorts of other things. There's going to be more of those cases of death, way more than COVID. And if they're in a bubble situation, they're taking classes online, and you have a situation as well where you've got the top medical testing and all the rest. They're going to be tested every day. I just don't understand why they can't play college football. Shame on the Pac-12 and shame on the Big 10 for canceling fall sports. And I really give a tip of the cap, and I commend the ACC, SEC, and Big 12 for trying to figure this thing out. And also, I'll leave you on this. It's stunning to me that the Pac-12 and the Big 10 completely shut down like that, and the SEC immediately, with Greg Sankey and company and the commissioner of the SEC and his powers that be, come out and say, hey, the medical people we're talking to, they're telling us that we can play, and this is going to be, we're going to go on a day-to-day guideline here with how we're going to be able to do it. How does the Pac-12 and Big 10, how do they have different medical information than the other three conferences? It's absolutely mind-boggling, and it's as inconsistent as anything since mid-March during the pandemic. I'm Mike Lindsley, ML Sports Take here, brought to you by our great friends at the Vince Aguirre Consulting Group, Camillus Golf Club, and Bryant and Stratton College. Thanks to Quinn for checking in as well. As I always tell you, enjoy the games.